Hey everyone, welcome back to Tuckaway Pines. Today we are down in the pantry because I've been kind of up to a couple different things today. I've been just kind of cleaning out the cupboards, restocking the shelves, cleaning out the refrigerator, restocking that, and we are also expecting a new stand-up freezer to be delivered here soon, so I'm just kind of making room for all that and figuring out what's going to be going in there and all that fun stuff. So I thought today would be a really perfect day to bring you guys along for a nice little pantry tour. Okay, so to start off, we're going to be down here in the pantry. We do have a mixture of obviously store-bought goods and home canned goods from stuff we've grown from the garden or purchased from our local farmers market and things like that. So just to give you guys a better view of everything, I'm going to turn the camera around and then you'll just hear me in the background explaining everything. Okay, so on this side of our shelving unit we have a mixture of food items primarily on top. You do see some paper products kind of stashed in here. But otherwise below we have our non-food items, things like garbage bags, household cleaners, things like that. I even on the bottom here I have my distilled water, some bulk oils, homemade apple cider vinegar, and then I even have some bulk items here, but I'll get into those momentarily. But back to the top, aside from our paper products, I do have various jars of canned soups, my convenience meals. If you guys haven't seen any of those videos, I'll link those above, but you should definitely go check those out. Saves so much time and money, and it's just delicious, good quality food all around. But anyway, I have some split pea soup here. I have some ham and vegetable soup, and I also made a vegetarian version, so just no ham. And then I also have 2 rows here of loaded potato soup. I actually have to condense the rows a little bit. I haven't made it down here quite yet, as far as my organization's gone. I have 1 little lonely jar of bean soup back there, so that tells me I need to make some more. I have a row here of sauerkraut. We had a good yield of sauerkraut this past season, so definitely check out that video there if you want to see how we made that. Really happy with the way that turned out. And then here I have some green salsa verde. I just took all the green tomatoes that didn't ripen from the garden. Instead of having them go to waste, I just turned them into a green salsa, and it actually turned out pretty good. Not as sweet as a regular salsa, but still edible, so still good. We like it. And instead of jumping over to that side, I'm going to come down. Here's our like herb and spice section. I have a variety of dried herbs that we've grown from the garden. Variety of basils. I got some chives. We have some store-bought spices in that box back there, some salts. I even have some dried parsley. I even made some salt blends. I have with the shadow it's hard, but I have a rosemary and sage salt blend. Let's see what else. I make our own croutons. I save all old bread ends, things like that. And I make breadcrumbs and croutons. I also have a video on that as well, so I'll just be taking a ton of videos that I've done with a lot of these foods that I've made. Otherwise, feel free to peruse our channel because there is so much. Squished in the paper towel here, don't mind that, but I do have a variety of like dried beans, navy beans, lima beans, and there's some kidney beans in the back there. So that's what I like to use for my bean soup. Over here I have some jar mixes for like baked goods. I have brownie mixes back here, jam bars, I think snickerdoodle butterscotch as well. So they're all just ready to go, so I don't have to worry about going to the store and buying a packet of baking mix or anything like that. So, and then obviously carnation milk. But here I have a bin of like primarily cereals. We got some baked goods, oatmeal, powdered sugar, things like that, because of just to protect from rodents and pests like that. So we just keep things like that inside bins, and we have a couple more on the other side too. So, but down here at the very bottom, my bulk buckets, I have one with elbow noodles in here because we do like our pasta, and then back here I have some pinto beans. I have a big bucket of pinto beans as well. So eventually want to get more. Probably I like to have at least 2 buckets of each, just based on the size of our family, and in case something bad were to happen, we have a decent amount to get by for a little while. So I eventually like to expand on the bulk storage a little bit more, but I feel like we are pretty good for what we got. So, but onto the other side of the pantry, I have some jarred fermented green beans. I fermented them and then canned them just to make them last a little longer, put them on the shelf, and I also needed to conserve some space in the refrigerator and counter, so I jarred up a good amount of those. I have some pickle relish here, made my own pickle relish. We do have some store-bought pickles, but behind that I have some homemade pickle spears that I had gone and done as well. Here I have primarily pickled cauliflower, and here's some fermented or pickled radishes as well. So the cauliflower, I think I'm just going to stick to freezing this season. Not a fan of the pickled cauliflower, but it was definitely worth a try, and now we know. So over here we have a variety of fermented and canned carrots. I did carrot chips, I did little carrot sticks. We got the red carrots, white, orange, all that fun stuff too. And then here are obviously some store-bought items. I have diced tomatoes, tomato soups, cream of mushroom, some emergency beans, and here's some jarred vegetables. Actually we need, or canned vegetables, I'm sorry, not jarred. But I do need to restock on these because they are looking pretty empty. But I do like these little organizers. A friend of ours got these for us for a nice gift. So it fits nicely for the store-bought canned goods, which is really nice. I don't think I need any more, especially when I'm trying to can my own. But for the things that we can't grow necessarily or can on our own, it's nice to have these just to conserve space. But to go down below, here we have the last jar of my famous tomato sauce. I made some tomato sauce with our homegrown tomatoes, and it was a big hit. We had spaghetti like almost every night, so definitely gonna have to make more of that this season. I have some homemade pizza sauce back here, but then there's also some store-bought. We have ketchup. I have some homemade ketchup back behind there as well. Store-bought barbecue sauce, but I did make my own rhubarb barbecue sauce from our own rhubarb growing on the property, which I think turned out really amazing. It's got a nice little sweet hint to it, but it's nothing too over sweet, so definitely like that. Then we got some store-bought beans. I did make a small batch of home canned beans. Turned out really good. I think I'm gonna do that again. Sorry about the heater, I'm like right next to it, so if it gets really loud, that's my bad. Anyway, yes, I made a nice big batch of the beans, so I think I'm gonna do that again. It turned out really good. I'm really happy with it. And we got some jellies, some peanut butters. Got a few jars left of my homemade applesauce. Picked the apples from our local orchard, which turned out amazing. We plan to do that again this year since our apple trees aren't quite mature enough to produce our own apples yet. So here is our overflow of sauerkraut because we have so much sauerkraut from this past season. that I needed more rows, and it's to the point where this year I think we're definitely gonna grow a lot less cabbage. And then over here I have some homemade apple cider, also from the apples from our orchard. So I've been slowly working at that. And then I obviously have some vodka back there, but that is mainly for my tinctures that I like to make when I do make them. So that just kind of chills back there. And then down below, here we have a lot of store-bought items, just miscellaneous things, steak sauce, Worcestershire sauce, some jelly, honey, mustard, jarred fruit, or I'm sorry, canned fruit, things like that, tuna. So that's in that little pocket there. And then here are our other two bins to kind of keep our some of our perishables safe from pests and things like that. So here we have a lot of snack items, chips, crackers, things like that, graham crackers. And then over here we have a lot of like our pasta, spaghetti noodles, instant pasta dishes, things like that, like your hamburger helper, rice-a-roni, and all that fun stuff, you know, for a quick pinch. So all that stuff stays in here, so it's nice and protected. Don't have to worry about any mice or anything chewing in that. And then down below here is more of my bulk storage. I have 2 bins of flour. One's actually empty. I need to refill that, but this one's full. So I got one good bucket of flour, but like I said before, I like to try and keep 2 of each on hand. For instance, like this. So this one's out, at least I have a backup bucket. And it gives me time to be able to get what I need to refill when I need to refill. So yeah, I got my flour here. It's all labeled. And then I have 2 buckets of sugar. Here's one here, and then the other one is actually right back there. So I have, this one's actually getting low, but it has some in it. And then I have a whole full one back there, which is nice. Then over here I have 2 buckets of rice. We go with the long grain rice. Yeah, so we have 2 buckets of that. And actually, funny story with this bucket, when the pandemic kind of first started and all that, to save a couple bucks, we went to our local pet store and found this, which is just a pet food storage container, but it had the gamma seal, you know, it's food grade. So I thought it actually worked in a pinch, because like I said, during the pandemic, all these buckets and the gamma seal covers, because you had to buy them separate, were really hard to find. So we kind of thought outside the box a little bit and settled for a food or a pet food container, which like I said works just as fine. And it came with its own scoop, which was a plus. But okay, so that is the end of the pantry tour here. Then I'm going to take you guys upstairs just for a quick, it's nothing special, nothing like this, out in the garage just to show you our extra freezer storage as well. And go figure, the heat turns off when I'm done down here. Okay, so here we are in the garage. This is where we have our little chest freezer. Nothing too big or fancy. I want to say it's like 3 cubic feet. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I don't know. We've had it since Milwaukee and it's running strong. We store pretty much everything in here. I have everything kind of divided up in bags. I got like all our cheeses and stuff because I like to buy bulk cheeses. And especially now working where we work, we get a perk on getting some cheese from work. So that's really nice to have that. So we've been stocking up there. I also have a bag of frozen vegetables, stuff from the garden, but also store-bought as well. It's a nice side to have. And then there's obviously a lot of meat in here, a lot of store-bought meat and things like that. And that's actually another reason why we plan on getting a stand-up freezer, is because we do want to start buying our meat by the cow, even some pork, and especially local, of course. So we want to have a place to put it before we do go ahead and buy all that meat. So, but yeah, there's a lot of that in there. I do have some, let's see, like pumpkin puree in there, a couple miscellaneous items, I think a frozen pizza or two, just odds and ends. It's pretty much the bulk freezer, the overflow. We of course have our fridge and freezer on the inside, our main fridge and all that, but yeah, this is where we store pretty much everything else. And then in this fridge here, this actually came with the house. We ended up getting a new fridge, but this fridge still worked. It's kind of seemed like a sin to get rid of it, so we just brought it out in the garage and we use it again for overflow storage. So we have like sodas and stuff in here. Here, you know what? Let me turn the camera around, it'll be a lot easier. Okay, so in here, we've been buying bulk eggs, at least until we can get our own chickens. So we store the big box out here. We got a lot of cheeses and stuff, again, like from work. I have some sourdough starter hanging out in the back, just kind of on idle right now. And sodas, we got waters, things like that. So just kind of to help keep the crowdness down on the inside fridge. So we have that. And then this top freezer is just kind of like a mishmash of everything. I've been slowly kind of working through it. I have a lot of frozen sourdough starter, bunch of ice packs, some Cool Whip that we just bought from Christmas baking cookie time. I have some frozen strawberries. I have a bunch of vegetable scraps. I saved just like a few gallon freezer bags worth, and then I'll make a big batch of broth. So I got a bunch just kind of shoved in there. I even have a lot of bread for my breadcrumbs and croutons. And then there's even a container, that container back there, that's actually some chive butter that I made last year. And I think I even have some pre-made dough that I kind of pre-made and then I just put in the freezer for whenever I need it. But like I said, it's just kind of a mess. It's a mishmash of everything. And I've been slowly chiseling away at it. And I'm waiting for it to get warmer out here so I can kind of clean everything nice and proper as well too. So, because it is kind of a mess in here, to say the least. But, so yeah, that's pretty much it for the freezers and the fridge out here. And we just got our inside fridge, freezer, your everyday foods, things like that, our cabinets, everyday foods. But then we actually just opened up this little space right here for our new stand-up freezer. We decided to go with the stand-up freezer for a couple different reasons. One, primarily is for the organization, instead of having, because to dig out of that little freezer, it's really nice, it works great, keeps everything frozen and cool, but to have to like dig stuff out, then that's kind of why I keep things in bags too. I gotta dig out every bag to get to whatever's on the bottom, and I can't really see what's what. Like, I have to kind of keep a mental note of everything. So the actual fridge style freezer will be really nice. You open it up and you just see everything that's there, and it should allow better organization, I'm hoping. And again, it's primarily for our meat and things like that. And then this little guy we're gonna keep. We're still debating if he's going to stay out here or if we're going to put him inside, but he's probably going to like keep our frozen vegetables, our snack items, cheeses, things that we can still freeze but isn't quite meat. So we're going to still figure it out. It all takes time. Kind of once we get the freezer, then we'll kind of adjust and see how things fit and stuff like that. But all in all, that is pretty much our pantry tour. Both the pantry and our overflow storage spaces here for food. And yeah, it's just been something that we've been kind of working with for a little while. It's, you know, it's an ever-changing thing, the pantry and all that. I'm always constantly reorganizing. We're constantly eating through it, so it's never going to stay the same longer than a day. So anyway, so that's pretty much it. I hope you guys really enjoyed. And I hope this kind of inspires you to maybe start saving up on your own food, stocking up certain food items, maybe even consider making your own types of food so you can not have to rely on the stores, and also saves you a lot of money as well when it comes time to actually making it. So like my breadcrumbs and things like that, broth, whatnot. So, and there's so many more other items you can make at home and not have to purchase either. So, but it's all a journey, it's a process, and you just got to start somewhere. So again, I hope you guys enjoyed. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe so you don't miss out on any other fun videos we do here on the homestead. And don't forget to check out those other videos I mentioned earlier as well. I'll leave them tagged, but feel free to peruse our channel and check them out. Alright guys, bye.